This is Brothers Talking Shit. This is Brothers Talking Shit podcast, episode 132. If you don't know, after 132 episodes, it's a damn shame. But I'm going to tell you who I am anyway. I'm the flush man. I'm the fat boy. I'll call you broadish, and I'm still your Huckleberry. What's up?
And it's Iceberg Shorty, a.k.a. the king of controversial comments. I said what I said. I'm at where I'm at. Don't holler at me unless you try and cut the check. And I started watching this goddamn Tekashi doc. Oh, man. Whoa.
I'm going to watch it, man.
You should have gave that as homework. Like, you tripping. I could have watched it.
I wouldn't do you like you did me. But can you
That's
let
fine.
Juice do what he gonna do?
Go ahead, Juice.
Yeah, hold up, wait up a second, man. It's Chef Boy Drew, aka the Charm Guy, aka Juice, aka Mr. Hot right now in the kitchen cooking from our family and shit. Ready to pod and talk some shit tonight. Yeah, I might be going to Cancun, Mexico if another event hits Houston. I might be with bitch.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Right.
Hey, Crus, aka Baby Black Ted Cruz. About this bitch.
What's good? It's your boy Jay, Big Belly Rude Boy 2 times, and I'm ready to get it. R.I.P. Brianna.
Yeah.
He gone?
Maybe. I don't know. On you, cool.
No,
I'm still here, man. It's your boy. Oh shit, go ahead, cool.
No, it's on you.
Go ahead, yo. JB, goddamn.
Yo, I had
No, go, nigga, nigga.
It's your boy JB. I'm here for 9, and I'm gonna pass it to the one and only.
God, Cool Mike, aka Dr. Mike, aka the People's Podiatrist, also known as your favorite foot doctor. And we some earth shakers.
Yep.
Right? We some 40-acre takers.
Oh, we've been there.
And we some generational curse breakers.
Yes, sir.
We are the prophetic podcast because we be knowing.
We be knowing.
And we just some brothers talking shh.
With your cool ass.
Yo, so I'm
Here.
chilling. I'm chilling this weekend, and I'm out vibing, doing my thing. And
hold on real quick. Yo, Jay got a story to tell y'all. All right, go ahead. Jay, just start talking. Go ahead, Jay.
so I'm out vibing, and I heard bow. In my neighborhood, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Long story short story long. Across the street, a little ways, my neighbors are playing online card game. And then one of them get mad because they lose money, went to this house, grabbed the 4 or 5 off the dresser, came back, shot the old lady in the hand and shot the dude in the chest and decided he was going to run to the next motherfucking county. They shut down everything over here. They got the helicopters out and everything. Talk about everybody staying in your house. You can't even be out walking your dog. Who gets into a fight over an online game?
How were they playing? They were playing online, but in the same space?
Yeah, they was having like in the little a party, I guess. And then I guess somebody, they playing online together, and I guess somebody lost money or didn't pay that. I don't know what that was. They ain't say that. They ain't give the underliner, but they just said he was playing an online game. And next thing you know, the 45 come out. He walked next door and grabbed that and shot the lady and the dude and left him on the patio to bleed.
There's a lesson to be learned from this. White people shoot you and kill themselves. Black people shoot you and go to the next county.
They weren't black.
Oh, well, there goes that. There goes that one. Damn, Jay, you couldn't hold that?
No, I couldn't hold that.
I think that's what he was saying. He said it was odd that it happened in his neighborhood. I'm like, he heard this and yeah.
I thought you lived with black folks. My bad, brother.
No. I got a good house, but
Oh,
just
damn.
crazy.
We gonna leave that where it's at. Like, yeah. You can't have a good house in the black neighborhood, brother.
Is that?
Well,
I mean,
I ain't gonna what's the name you in like that, bro.
Other than that, just chilling and enjoying myself for the weekend. Y'all see me in the fedora. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, what? Okay, I'm not even gonna do that. So let's get to the
Come
business.
on.
All right. No, I ain't gonna do that to you. JB here, but he not here. We need to go say what JB said when he see you with the hat on. We gonna leave that where it's at. But Juice, I'm really I want to know what's going on. Like, what's the vibe down in Houston, man, and down in Texas? What's the vibe with everything that happened with this weather situation? A
Right,
lot of things happened. With a lot of people lost some homes, and
right.
what's the energy like down there?
Well, first off, let me say this for those that don't know, those that don't understand. We had a very odd winter here in Texas where we got down as low as I think 13 degrees. So if you're not understanding what the type of climate we have here is subtropical, meaning we're not used to that. Where it's always going to be warm here, it's going to be subtropical temperature. Lowest is in May get, which is like, oh, scary, it's 40 something degrees. Here as of late, it's been getting a lot colder. It's actually starting to snow a little more often. So we had a blizzard, some snow wind. It really wasn't a blizzard, but it was a winter storm that we're not used to. Had ice on the roads. Our power grid, didn't understand it before. I think we have more questions about it now. It went down, had some rolling blackouts. People also had, we don't wrap our pipes here in Texas because we're not used to that. So people didn't have insulated pipes. It froze, water bust, broke. A lot of people lost roofs. I have friends that lost a lot of property or had property damage due to pipes busting. So this was a serious thing. A lot of people across the country, I did see the jokes, hear the jokes, and I understand why the jokes were made. But in essence, no, this really was a real situation, man. So what is it like? Yo, man, look, we used to floods, bro. We used to hurricanes. We used to a lot of things happening. People in Houston don't let their spirits get broken. We just, we outlast things. We move on. We understand where we live. We love it. We understand the kind of drama that comes. We're not used to snow. We used to water, but the temperature right now in the city is, man, we out here partying shit. We fixing our lives and we moving on. But this was a serious deal. Don't get it twisted. This is happening more often. This is not normal for the area. This is like, a lot of my friends and I are talking, hey, it was a time when it snowed when I was 4 and then didn't again until I was 20. Well, now it's like every 3 years, 2 years, we're starting to get the climate change here, this effect, and we're not built for it. So it's brought up another discussion that we should have statewide. And of course, with this power grid situation, because we have an independent power grid, the only state to do that in the country. However, it's privatized, it's deregulated, and that's another discussion that we have to have right now. So, but as far as like people, it was a lot of damage, bro. A lot of people are, you had the pandemic already fucking people. So then this happened. This might have, set people back a little further.
Way back.
Hey, I had a
Go ahead.
real quick question for Juice in regards to that. Now with that, now I know a little bit about the privatized, deregulated infrastructure in regards to the energy. Now, I'm not sure if everybody is listening how up on in Texas history is. If you know a little bit about Texas, at one point, Texas tried to basically leave the United States. It wasn't that long ago, because the way that the state prefers to
Well, let
operate
me
is with.
go ahead. I'm gonna correct you on that. It wasn't that. So understand this. Texas, after it was free of Mexico, independent of Mexico, right?
Right.
Once it's independent of Mexico, Texas then becomes a republic. So it became an independent state. It then entered into the Union after that. Now you had a guy by the name of General Sam Houston, who was born in Virginia, was a governor of Tennessee, but then he comes to fight with, Davy Crockett and all those colonizers, comes to fight, eventually to get Texas to be independent. Then Texas becomes a part of the Union. Now, when Texas becomes a part of the Union, obviously due to cotton, slavery, and all other characteristics that would make it a southern state, it then becomes a part of the state, the South. It's the southern state. And then eventually it secedes with the rest of the other 6 states, because there were 7 states that originally seceded from the United States to become the Confederate States of America. So when we talk about the 6 flags over Texas, we're talking about a couple of things. It was a republic, of course, it's American. the Republic of Texas, France has been here at one time, Spain, and I think Mexico. So it's something like it's like Six Flags over Texas, which the brand Six Flags is a Texan thing. If nobody knew that.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
why it's
yeah.
called that.
I did know that.
Yeah.
So
All right.
my question was, Juice, because the obviously with the historical facts as you just touched on, those by that infrastructure being deregulated, in your opinion, as a as a native, as a resident, do you feel like a lot of what happened could have been preventable? Not necessarily in the realm of like pointing fingers, but if you had an infrastructure that was regulated by an entity, be it a federal government or what have you, because the freedom or the free market that Texas has, from my understanding, and again, you can correct me on if I'm wrong on this. From my understanding, played a pretty tremendous part in the result or the outcome of the natural disaster. Now, some things are, you can't prevent it all.
Right.
Just that's just a part of nature. But specifically with like the wind turbines, not having the proper insulation to provide energy in the event that obviously what happened. Do you feel like that would have been that's something that could have been prevented with a more rigid, regulated type of government?
So y'all gonna hear a little sizzling in the background, but this is can y'all hear me? Okay.
No, you cooking on the podcast. You good, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay. So listen. This is a very sticky thing because I have very balanced views, and I so happen to live in a state that's able to do this. I've been at, first off, Texas energy output for the country and for the world is very high, and it's called an energy capital for a reason, especially here in Houston. That's just what we deal in. And I think up until this point, we really didn't know how deep the energy thing was as far as fossil fuel, wind energy, and even nuclear energy that we produce as a state. I do think that being on our own grid is something that we kind of naturally have available to us. It's something that we can do. I think that if it was more state regulated, like if that was going to be the case, and I think people assume that it was for Texas, not understanding that it's private, meaning that no nigga, anybody could get in on this because this is still the United States of America. This is still capitalism here. I don't think any federal entity coming in is going to necessarily change the dynamics up. But here's the weird thing about this thing called ERCOT, right? This ERCOT. And it's this Council of Texas that's directing all this energy shit. And this is like the group that determined how it's ran. You have a lot of private energy companies here. So understand that. Exxon's here, Chevron's here. There's a lot of people here making money. Tesla just came here. Tesla's in Austin. Joe Rogan has his podcast thing down here. Like there's a lot of shit going on here that's dealing with money, right? So the way I see it is that these private companies have to have a way to govern when working with each other, especially with this energy. And that's where that council shit comes into play. Because the lady who's like, the chairman and the chairman of this board is from fucking Michigan. I mean, and you got another guy who sits on this board. He's a fucking professor over in Germany or some shit, but he lives in California. This is all new information to us. I think there's a lot of, there's benefits to being private in that manner. But the problem is, to your point, JB, I would say, is the ability to regulate something like that. So like we're talking like utilities here. This is like lights and water. The question really becomes, is anything like that should be regulated at all? I don't care who's responsible for that? Is it the municipality, the state, like the federal government? Who's really responsible for that? Because we've been able to privatize utilities, like even water, like the sale of water. That's just a weird thing. So I can't really give a clear-cut answer. It's hard to say, okay, if it was a part of federal government, then it would be like this, because maybe Texans don't like that, because then now we're sharing energy with the rest of the country. I don't know. But then which isn't a bad thing. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But then maybe if Texans were like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to just we've always been this independent place. We produce this. This is where it's at. If you're not here, fuck you. I understand that too. But it's just a discussion now, not just for Texas, I think for the entire country, because that's just one example. You still have water, you still have all these other aspects of things that I don't necessarily think should be privatized. One, I don't think electricity should be privatized at all. I don't know how I feel about that. So it's just sticky because it's so much that I don't understand in regards to this issue. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because I found it
Yeah,
weird.
that answered my question.
I found it interesting that you said snow happened 3 years ago. Is that what you said? You said it snowed 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. I just like maybe 2 years ago. It was
And
recent.
was it?
It's yeah.
Was it to the extent of
No.
this or less?
No.
Because
We don't have.
Like
Listen, bro. We don't have snow. Like I was just up y'all way, and it snowed, right? There were snow plows in the street. It was salt, and y'all were still taking precautions, but people were still able to drive around. There's no truck. Listen, I know what that's like. When I seen it, I'm like, you niggas finna have a problem because there's no salt in the streets. There's no plot. When I mean, it's like, it's done. It's worse than the flood, bro. Like when you go to the stores right now, they're out of water. It's like, we've been through so much, even a pandemic, and we haven't been as affected as that fucking snow did. Right. Like, bro, it's just, there's no movement at all. So like to that magnitude and what it happened, in which it happened, and the freeze, it's like, bro, we're not prepared for that. Even the wind turbines. So let's talk about that real quickly. So like the wind turbines being protected as they are, like I think in Des Moines or up north where it does get cold, we didn't have that added protection. You also got to look at water freeze. A lot of these plants work off steam. They need water in order to operate these plants. It's frozen. Nigga, the water's like, there's so many layers. You can't just, we sensationalize a piece of the information. We go and say, oh, there's ERCOT electrical grid. But like, nigga, what about Mother Nature? Nigga, it's 12 degrees in Houston. Fuck what y'all talking about. Let's talk about this climate change. Because that's what the real issue is. Like, it just, in order for a lot of these plants to operate, bro, has anybody here ever worked in a plant or know anybody that worked in the plants?
Yeah. No.
So it's just like being on the ship. You need steam, right? When that steam down, y'all know it's everything down. Yeah. So if there's no steam to operate things, for those of us that have been on the nuclear carrier, y'all know everything's done. So like when water is the issue there, it's like that's what it's gonna be.
Well, they didn't. I don't think they took into the factor of the safety value of this. Like, well, no, I mean they didn't know it was coming, but the safety value of it, because if you look at it, most Southerners have never experienced driving in snow or ice, right?
Right.
So like in Dallas, what he had there, well, I think it was like 72 car pileup,
100 plus.
Exact. Thank you. People don't know what they do, and then they panic, and then that's how you get to 100 plus, because if you're going left, you want to turn left, which they don't understand that. But you go up north, people understand that, and like you said, everybody's just mowing on about their day because they understand how to turn in the snow. So you got to get the safety value with that, because people trying out there to get water, food, milk, all these other things, and now you're stuck on the highway in the freezing, and who knows how much gas that you have in your vehicle. So
what made me ask you that was because, okay, they've known recently that it can snow there 2 years ago. So it's like, why hasn't there been some kind of effort put to, you know what, we know it can happen because it happened 2 years ago. Why does it take for it? So why does it take for it to happen now? So do now?
You gotta think.
Now do they get salt?
Have,
now do they get salt and stuff?
No, they don't. You gotta real quick. Let me jump. We're overlooking this, right? And again, this is one incident, so now we want to isolate it to one incident. Guess what you don't have at your house that they have in California? Earthquake codes. You know why? Because an earthquake ain't going to happen in Jersey, right? But if it wouldn't happen, all the shit is going to fucking crumble. And you can't go in hindsight like, oh, we should have had earthquake codes. No, you don't. We don't have tornado stuff here like they have in Kansas and Kentucky, right? All that stuff matters. So what? Like, everybody just needs something to talk about because it's a slow news week. It got cold in Texas. Nobody expected it. It is what it is. It was like 2 years ago. I was at UT. when it snowed, right? And basically you shut the whole goddamn thing down. What happened this time? Same thing. Everything cooled at the system is on the rack system and it's chilled by water. Or the fucking water's frozen. Well, it never freezes in goddamn Austin. It's 70 degrees in Austin today. They got hit with a cold front. Shit happened, right? There's no trucks because you don't need that for your infrastructure because it just doesn't happen. This hasn't happened in 100 years. It's just a thing.
And I mean, that's
So
what
you
we're
just leave it
looking
like
at.
that. That's what I'm saying. You just leave it like that.
It's not worth it for them. It's not going to happen often.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
can't.
cost.
You can't.
The cost.
You know, here we got the domes,
Domes
salt
with
in
salt
there.
in it. You can't afford to put that nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, what? You know how big that place is compared to Baltimore or Philly, right? It's just like
you look at
Bro, do you know square
Colorado's
mileage,
a natural
square
state.
mileage, Houston, square mileage, Houston, the metropolitan area, if I'm not mistaken, is almost as big as the fucking state of Maryland, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like so. Like this is how I started to believe this when I realized this. So like where Rail stays, you know what I'm saying? I'm not putting any public information out there, but compared to where I was at, that's a normal trip in Houston. Like going to his house, like there's family, like them 30-minute out the way from Baltimore spots, like that shit is like a normal commute for people here, hour, 2 hour trips on the norm. So it's not because it's traffic either all the time. This place is fucking big. Like Texas is a big fucking place. So in order to really weatherproof the man, fuck that. It's just not gonna happen. Then you look at hurricane season is approaching. Like that's another thing we have because it could easily just y'all saw that shit. We could be on CNN in fucking May for floods. Like it's just Houston was never historically made to be built upon. This is a swamp. There it's just a swamp area. A lot of this part of Texas, soft land, marsh. It just really wasn't made to be as developed as it's become. And so, I mean, you know, then a lot of this shit needs just. I mean, we're not ready for it.
So you just 64 degrees right now in Austin. Tomorrow's high 80.
So that's what I'm saying. So with stuff like that, you just take it and deal with it and take the loss.
Yeah, the end. Yeah.
Take that shit on the chin. Now, I will say this. Insulating pipes and shit like the shit that people do in other places, we can now start saying, let's start doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe in your major cities, we can start talking about, we can start looking towards our brothers in, you know what I'm saying, Maryland and Philly and New York. Hey, what are you guys doing?
You know what you do? You know what you do, which is an easy thing. They're probably gonna do it. You just put plows on the front of those big 250s and 350s y'all got down there and put salt joints on the back. Our neighborhood uses a contractor and they just put plows on the front of their pickup trucks and what's the name. So like it's ways around to privatize that part of it too. I'm sure it'll be sorted out.
Yeah.
Right,
so I mean,
might be a business.
Go ahead.
We can leave that where it's at. Let's get into Ted Cruz and his run to Mexico thing. I found it interesting. Your thoughts on it. I don't know if it changed since we first talked about it, but Ted Cruz ran to Mexico while Texas freezes.
Nah,
Texas freezes
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you why. If y'all ain't talking, this Drew talking.
Okay.
If y'all ain't talking this climate change, if y'all ain't talking about the shit that's over everyone's head, I don't care about this nigga getting on the plane or leaving his fucking puppy in the house. So what? Nigga, if you could do it, you do it. He's not going to stop the weather from changing. He has nothing to do. Okay, let me educate the public real quick. Since this energy shit is private, Ted Cruz don't got a fucking thing to do with it. He could make a phone call and they could be like, suck my dick, bro. We'll handle that shit when we do it. Even the governor can call, hey, I want somebody to resign. Say, my nigga, did you look at the contracts? Do you see what okay, maybe y'all don't want us here. We could talk that. We could do something. It don't fucking matter, bro. Good. Go to
Cancun. What was he gonna do?
He should have started him some coke too while he was out there. What the fuck was he gonna do? I hope he got some pussy out there, coke, weed, drink. Nigga, it's stressful being.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you one thing he didn't get. He didn't get a COVID test because ain't no way you come back that fast. I don't know how he came back into the States without getting a COVID test. because it took me 48 hours to get my results back. The way he bounced back,
He's Ted Cruz, nigga. They
he
gonna
got
let
me on
him off.
quarantine.
Look, bro.
Take
It's just like
with
getting
him,
in
dog.
the
Like, what you talking
It's like
about?
getting in front of the line at the club, my nigga. It's like getting in line in front of, hey, you good? We know you, Ted. Yeah. Like, nigga, what? Like,
Hey, bro, I be so bored with the TV. I'm like, yo, they just talking about nothing. Like, I wanted to go to Cancun too. Like, what was he supposed to do? I'm so confused. Like,
my nigga Slim Thug went
you
to
fucking
Miami.
right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He was like,
exactly. Nobody fucking called Slim out. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce and them probably left. Like, who gives a fuck? You left.
Everybody was in Miami last week. I'll tell you that.
Motherfucker left. So what? Like, who gives a shit?
Slim Thug said he caught a $70 ticket there.
Did he?
Yeah. He like, you ain't got $70 to get out of there. You know, you got bigger problems.
Right.
For real. And the
big
thing is like, bro, like, and I had to explain to someone that were trying to make this a money thing. Oh, people can't leave. It's like, bro, it's even people with, it doesn't make, this affects you on all levels. Even if you have money and have businesses, and this shit just puts you behind, it affects everyone. It's just what it is. What was he gonna do? What was he going to do? I don't care if he stays here or not.
Be cold in the house by himself there alone. Like, hey, you know.
But that puppy, that little dog getting out the door of that house, nigga, was the funniest shit. I loved it, dog. And I know white people gonna eat his ass up because if it ain't nothing that a motherfucking white person don't like more than a motherfucking dog getting harmed, I don't know what.
I ain't see that part.
Hate that.
So he left his dog unsupervised.
He left his dog, looking out the door, just looking out the door like that.
And they was grounded. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that
part. Nigga, left the dog in the house, nigga. Yeah,
hey, Juice,
that's some black people shit. We don't put our dogs up, and you ain't going to no dog home. You gonna stay your ass in here. We're gonna leave the water out in the food, and you can eat. You know niggas do that. I like to
that shit with their kids.
You tell your dog you better pour. You better
fuck out of here, yo. Like we do that shit with our kid. Like,
is this in the refrigerator? It's a pot of spaghetti. It's a pot of spaghetti in the refrigerator. They go $20 for a pizza on Friday.
Oh, answer the phone.
Yo, but no, just you kept referring to. I'm sorry, I know you're busy, but you kept referring to.
No, I'm talking, baby. That's what I'm cooking.
You said the bigger problem is the climate. The climate. What was you saying about the climate? The climate control, or you?
So I mean, listen, bro. When I was a little kid on Christmas Day, do you know the temperature on Christmas Day in Houston? It would get as high as 85 degrees. We were aware here, like when I was a kid, some kids would wish like, oh man, Christmas, we just wanted the snow one day because that's Christmas. Like it was always warm here, my nigga, before all this other shit that we've created has happened. Within the last 15 years, it has snowed more frequently. And not only has it snowed more frequently, it's gotten a little more difficult. It brings things like snow that sticks, colder temperatures, more advisory and warnings about travel. I've never seen that before. Like I've never, ever seen that. Many people haven't seen that. So it's just like, I think I think in Antarctica it'd be like 65 degrees and shit. Like, bro, it's just a lot of shit we not paying attention to that I think is really the problem. Because when you really look at the engineering aspect of our again, the grid, the fucking, power plants, it wasn't made for that type of weather, bro. Like a lot of this shit just isn't made for that at all. So I think that's a big issue than a nigga going. And Ted Cruz so lame. Y'all see what he be wearing and shit? Like, why do we even care about it? That nigga be wearing some lame. He looks like an old guy. Like, he's an old guy. Like, I don't give a fuck what he's doing. He should be wearing Skechers. He shouldn't have had the Adidas on. He's a Sketcher guy. But anyways, it's like, it just doesn't bother me, dog. Like, he's a lame. He's a lame nigga who they make fun of. I feel sorry for him. I don't really care about this nigga going to Cancun, bro. It's climate change, man. We got to pay attention. 12 degrees in Houston, y'all. 12 degrees in Houston.
Then it's 80, what, the next week?
Like, yeah, like I got my AC on right now, bro.
All right, let's get to the juicy pause. The juicy segment, the juicy part of everything.
You keep saying juicy, dog. Stop saying it. Like, what the fuck?
my bad. Yo, listen, but let's get to this. Hold on, man. The Columbia professor. It's a professor out of Columbia who openly admits that he does heroin regularly for work-life balance. Go ahead, Rel. What's up?
No.
I know you've been itching and scratching for this shit.
Yo,
It's barbecue chicken. Let's go.
Yo, fam. He was dead ass serious. And you know what? I'm not even mad at him. Fuck out of here. Like, if you can manage your life and your vices, no matter what it is, dog, fucking manage your shit, right? You know what I mean? Like, I was an avid soda drinker, 6-7 of them a fucking day, 38 grams of sugar per can. I should probably have diabetes. You know what I did? I fucking stopped, right? Because it was probably going to affect my life. But if it wasn't, if a doctor said, hey, bro, have all the pineapple Fantas you want. Have all the Sprite you want. You're going to be all right for life. Guess what I would be fucking doing right now? Double fisting them shits right now. So, bro, like, I think there's people who function in life and with whatever they do, right? I mean, so what? Like, you fucking doing
I got something to that, though. I got something to that. So I don't give a fuck about Ted Cruz being in Mexico, right? However, he is a public servant. And he's a public servant of leadership. I'm not like he's no leader of my people. He doesn't have to serve anybody. But I think ultimately, when you take a job as a senator, which we know is bullshit because he advocates for the rich, first of all. But in theory, in context, his job is to be present for the people. But I mean, there's also a caveat to that. He's not a mayor. He's not the governor. So he doesn't have to technically act in that realm. But you took the job as a public servant, so you left yourself susceptible to the criticism that he got by doing so. That's why you don't take those jobs. That's whatever level of ascension that I is destined to have. Public servant, hopefully, will not be public servant where I have to be at the forefront. My face and my name and all that is at the forefront. I pray to God that doesn't. Why you say I pray to God it doesn't happen? I'm just gonna say, God, let me know down so I can chill out with all the bullshit that I do day to day. Because you can't.
Am I the only one that when JB started talking, I want to bean pie?
No,
I don't know what that's about.
I thought he was going to caveat back to what we was talking about.
Hold on. Bro, I got him, bro. Hold on. No. JB, no, JB.
Let me get him, Neef. Let me.
No, hold on, but JB, you like 5 minutes late. Like, do you know we on another topic, right?
Oh no. So look, I might have. You know what? It might have been my connection. So I might have been coming through late.
Oh, all right, okay, all right.
Yeah, that might have been my shit.
We talk about main man with the heroin. All right, you get Jay. Then we go.
Oh
back
yeah,
to that.
my connection might be fucked up now.
Go ahead, get Jay. Go ahead, you can get Jay real quick. Okay, so we back to main man with the heroin. So, all right, where's we at?
I thought Joe was going to kind of go into the public servant part of it, and then he told the whole story about Tank.
Yeah, so I think. Yeah, I think Real was saying something about that.
No, Real was done.
I was done and Joy chimed in like right on time. So go ahead. Somebody cook on that, man.
I was just thinking, like, how can you hold a position like that, but you still are doing extracurricular activities? Like, there's no testing involved.
How long do you think heroin stays in your system after you do it? This is where they fuck up the game, right? I learned this shit in the goddamn Navy, sitting there. In the goddamn going drug course, and they told us how long this shit stay in your system. You know how long?
24 hours?
About, right? No more than 36.
Cocaine is like 2 days.
Yeah, like I said, weed is the one that sticks around the longest, right?
Weed is some bullshit.
The rest of it is in and out. Like, they was like, dog, you know how often a motherfucker, you know how soon after a drug test a motherfucker had gotten high? It was like 18 hours on like crack or some shit like that. It's insane. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody remembers this from the Ike, but I think it was weapons department. And it just so happened them niggas must have been junkies because they did a random and they got their whole division.
Yo,
they was on drugs.
It was a CS that I was real cool with. You know him for a fact, Juice. That had got who popped on the piss test. And listen, what's crazy with that was now, like you know how sometimes you go through some shit and you look back on it and you find out what's going on with that person. I'm like, oh shit, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But main man popped and it wasn't no weed. But to me, it sounded a little crazy though, because it's like I had somebody tell me one time that they drive better when they drunk, and that's just like to me, it just sounds like that's what you tell yourself.
Can we have the real conversation? Fuck homie that's talking about he doing heroin. Everybody's doing drugs. Can we just be real? If you ain't smoking weed or drinking alcohol to cope with this reality we got called life, motherfuckers is out here using dope, bro.
But bro,
like
alcohol,
motherfuckers is using cocaine, popping pills.
Alcohol is we just seen Vincent Jackson die. So
hey, did y'all listen to the podcast? That's it.
No, I didn't get a chance to the podcast.
Because I would say, well, I guess it's too late now, but he made a very profound, like I don't want to say argument, but he gave fair points in regards to his recreational drug use of like, hardcore fucking drugs. Nothing that he didn't make a fucking profound enough point that I would be like, oh, let me take a little bip of that, you know what I'm saying, that boy. But
dipping, two pipe, like egg honey,
yeah,
ready.
But
hey man, crazy as hell.
He made a very this is a part of his job, and he's getting free reign from not sought after, but a fucking prestigious university to do so. And I'm not saying like I shared it with y'all because I wanted to listen to the motherfucker. And you had to explain to me how you working at Columbia University and you bipping dope in between classes and you ain't tapping out.
Hey yo, listen. Let me,
I like go ahead, cool. I like
go ahead. You go first, cause I'll keep talking. Go ahead, Ralph.
Okay, yeah. So here's the thing, your vice again is your vice. If you are a functioning adult, it doesn't have to. His argument was very compelling. The only problem with it is that we look at this as such a bad thing. I don't do anything extracurricular, right? If you know anything about me, but I advocate for people who smoke weed. I fucking advocate for people who do drugs. I don't give a fuck if you drink, right? I just want you to get home safe. I'd rather you do it in my fucking house than to go out there and do it somewhere else, because that's really my twist about it. But so what? Like, how long you think you've been doing it? Like, that's the real question.
So this is a lot.
And we know functioning drug addicts. I ain't gonna tell nobody business on this podcast, but I know some people that when I found out, I was like, huh?
Right.
You know what I mean? Straight up.
I mean, Trick Daddy, you look at like my bad.
Bro, much closer.
You gonna say he's functional?
So look, this is a big. I think this is a hot topic for me, like just in general for a lot of different reasons. So, all right, growing up in Baltimore, I mentioned it vaguely, right? Baltimore City, there was a esteemed mayor that everybody loved him more or less. He actually went to my high school, Kurt Schmoke. Kurt Schmoke, he might still be the dean at Howard Law School now, or he was recently.
Yeah, like
right?
Recently. Yeah, I think he's
maybe stepped away recently.
He the president of UB.
Now the president of UB. At the thank you, Jay. At the back in the 80s, he advocated for the legalization or decriminalization rather of many drugs in the 80s. There are articles now that you could go back. He was running on these platforms. People thought he was batshit crazy, right? That back then he recognized that these things shouldn't be taken. You shouldn't be looking at a crackhead and sending them to jail for crime. Right. You selling the drug dealer and the drug user to jail. That's bullshit, right? Right. But when the person, you decriminalize it. So that was his whole thing back then. Now, when I was learning about, we have pharmacology class. I think this is important to the study. Pharmacology class, right? Study of medication, methodology, and all of that kind of stuff. I also tore my knee ligament up that first year or two of school. All right. So I'm getting A and a B or something in the class. They give me Oxycontin and Percocet for pain medicine after my ACL surgery. Right. Now, this is 2001. This is pre whatever. You know about it now, okay? So 20 years ago, right? Damn. Damn.
Thought about it, huh?
20 years ago, right? 20 years ago. So I'm in there, like they gave me the money. I remember taking it post-operatively for a torn ACL surgery, my second one. And me and my homeboy at the time, we ride to the barbershop. I'm just thinking it's fucking, I don't know, this pain medicine. This is a prescription the doctor gave me, give it to you, right? I'm high nodding off like in some weirdo land that I hated it. I did not finish taking the Oxycontin and Percocet prescription that I was given in about 2001, 2002 for ACL reconstructive surgery, right? And I can't even take credit for that. I just didn't like the high, right? I didn't like how it made me feel,
Right.
okay? And so then you fast forward, by the time that was 4 years, I'm in residency now. By the time I had gotten to residency, and you're doing surgical residency, where you train at the hospital, some of the drugs I had learned 2 or 3 years earlier were taken off the market, fellas. And they were taken off the market because they was killing people, right? The COX-2 inhibitors, they were killing people, and they knew it in the trials. Okay, so this got me itching my head really early in my professional career. I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Why you make me learn this shit, right? Why you make me learn? Why you make me learn this shit, right?" So before. So then fast forward a little more. Now I'm a full flash doctor, and you got drug reps coming in and out the office trying to get you to get their drugs and try to try them and all that, right? They've since kind of done away with these things, but you know what happened through all of this that's actually woven in to the whole point is that they didn't anticipate. They was fine sending crack kids and destroying generations, sending crack dealers and crack, to away. Well, what happened was they realized that the Percocet and Oxycontins, the synthetic heroin, it was finding their way, you're correct me, into suburbia's medicine cabinets. Suburban children and teens, Becky and all them, was crushing them up and doing their thing, going to town. The drug users changed the outside part of the capsule, right? They changed the capsule to make it harder to get into. Well, once you start making the synthetic opioids harder to get into, what happens, right? They go back to street drugs. Well, what's the street version of this? Heroin.
Right.
You intertwine this into this story, and now you have the opioid epidemic. It's a softer, kinder, gentler drug use culture. So much so that they've already did very much so Kirk Smoke's early thoughts and adopted them in places like Philly, I want to say. Opened up a clean heroin needle exchange clinic in these places, right? So when I was at doing violin lessons a couple years ago, and I'm at Johns Hopkins University, and I see on the back of the bus a naloxone advertisement. That is the dope and the heroin reversal agent medication. What the fuck is that doing on a Johns Hopkins bus? It was like, bling. This shit was far gone. So they changed it. They went back, then they started going back into your inner cities to find the dope because the drug users, the Oxy family and them changed the thing. Do you know they sued the Oxy family and the Oxy family is now bankrupt now? Because they said they knew how addictive this stuff was. This shit is crazy. I got a message in the mail from the DEA that said they bankrupt. Tell your patients pretty much, more or less, because I carry a license. This shit is deep, bro, and nobody going to jail for that. But last point. The gun trace task force that got in trouble in Baltimore City, all them cops that went to jail got in trouble. The investigation started because a girl in Harford County died and overdosed for some dope and some shit, and they traced it all the way back to some illegal and bad cops in Baltimore City, all because a singular white female died in lieu of right in the opioid crisis. So it's actually wild that this dude, he's a black dude. That's kind of surprising, but whatever, right? He probably makes an argument in the big picture for the bullshit that was put on in the first place, like weed being scheduled as a Schedule I drug, like fucking heroin, PCP, meth, and the rest of it. Who the hell know you took weed and think that it's gonna have you gnawing off like some of that other shit? or wilding out on some of the other shit. And so we've been duped the whole way. And I'm not saying it's good as this dude be bipping dope and meth in the middle of the day necessarily. Do what you do. Everybody got a vice, like you said. We just accept fucking cigarettes like it's cool and kill more people than weed. We accept alcohol like it's cool, kill more people than weed. Right? Drunk driving is a thing. And here we got some right, happy hours. Now they're gonna pass shit. We can get the liquor on the way home. All bullshit, right? So I mean, it may be between Donald Trump and this guy doing drugs in the open. You know, maybe this won't be this false standard of bullshit. Like we got to think politicians got to be perfect, as if anybody is perfect, or anybody that can help got to be perfect. In council culture, maybe it has something to do with all that shit, man. I mean that. I just want to go off on that one because I think it's ridiculous, especially with that
necessary, very necessary.
Cool. It's funny you say that because, bro, we got a fucking Narcan, like emergency, like break if in use. I'm like, hold up. What the fuck going on where y'all feel like we need to have the motherfucking Narcan joint at work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
But
you said the Narcan?
Narcan.
Like Jonathan Ogden got commercials that played during every Ravens game about narco. You know what I'm saying? Every Ravens game in between a fucking Taco Bell and Dorito commercial, Jonathan Ogden, Hall of Fame, got daggone.
You know what we got? You know what we got? We got your mama's on crack rock. No, my mama. Your mama's on. We got that shit. Yeah. We got Money with the crack pipe.
Right. I was just telling my brother this, and he was having a conversation. I was like, yo, I didn't realize until I got older that when I hear someone say like crackhead or call someone a crackhead, it's triggering to me. And it's because of the negative connotation that came with it. Because when you and comparatively, there's no negative connotation to anything in regards to people being addicted to opioids. It is met with compassion.
They call it opioids
because it's white folks.
It's
white call it dope, bitch.
But growing up, it was like somebody such a crackhead. But it was, and you would see what the fuck crack would do to somebody. And I never, like, when you were younger, you may have used that term or used that word, use that language and like as a, like
a jokingly.
A diss. Yeah. But it's like in hindsight, it's like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. And specifically for how it hit home for me personally, like to think that there was no compassion or empathy met with someone that I love, you be like, what the fuck? And it's a mental health crisis. And I think ultimately, like, I know y'all didn't listen to that shit, but that brother really broke it down because he was like, yo, my people, because he a brother. He was like, well, I ain't gonna say your brother, he black. My people were vilified for, their drug use. And the most profound thing he said, he was like, nobody wants to talk about the conditions. Nobody wants to talk about the poverty that may have led to such and such getting high. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to talk about how Detroit lost all those jobs or all those Midwestern states. He was like, or in Baltimore, like the factory.
Steel.
Yeah, Bethlehem Steel go down. Yeah. And that's it. Not only is it an entire industry, right? That's a whole class. That's a whole middle class of people who weren't able to provide for their family. What do you think they're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, black folks weren't given that opportunity to be humanized in distress. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a culture of poverty, like they gonna go through stress. Yes, they gonna get high, but they turn it into like Nancy Reagan and all them say no to drugs and that and the third. It's like, hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but there's no way for anybody to fucking work. You know what I'm saying? Or
but it's not even that, Jordan. We were also left to our own, tools, our own resources to fix the problem. We look at how we treated each other. I remember the DARE program. We had, I remember all these programs, don't do drugs and crack is whack. And, look at how we had to come up with all the mechanisms to get out of crack. Because guess what? I don't see crackhead niggas no more. I see junkie ass other people.
Home from jail.
Yo, I see
home from jail.
Leaning that lean.
That ain't good.
On some, that's the shit I be seeing. You
Bro, the
Or even the
crackheads
home,
is home
but
from
I'm saying
jail.
it's not just nigga.
It's
Like
viable.
it's
oh yeah, it's white.
we
Yeah, right. Oh no.
we survived AIDS. Listen, the scariest thing to me in the 90s was AIDS and crack, bro. It was killing people. And we had to come up with ways to survive that shit.
Right.
So
True.
now this
Hell
whole
yeah.
opioid
With no
crisis,
assistance,
the
with no
opioid,
assistance.
Yeah, the
listen,
opioid shit like,
crisis is really fucking bad. And guess what? You sowed those seeds. You put
Yeah.
crack in our neighborhoods. Y'all tried to
Yeah.
really kill us. And
Yeah.
now we don't. I'm sorry. I don't care. Hey, go make some songs like we did because y'all like how we sing. We had to sing our way out of fucking doing crack. So
Yeah.
fuck you. Take that shit. I don't care about that shit. I do
It's
not
the
care
hard
about that
knock
problem.
life.
It's the
Anybody
boost.
ever
Yeah, we
seen
had to sing
anybody
our
seen an
way out of
Asian
that
crackhead?
shit.
Instead of treated, we.
No, but you definitely see that. You see that lean, boy. You see that lean. They be leaning and
Oh,
drooling and shit. That shit, and
Yeah,
it be
they got
it
our
be a
young
lot of
fellas
white
on that
folks.
shit,
A lot
man.
of white folks. I see a lot
before
of white folks.
before they tore Lexington the market down, well, you couldn't make it through the street because you couldn't get to a parking lot without seeing 2 or 3 of them, and they don't fall. I still don't get it how to this day how they fall, but
Yeah, I never seen a white fall either.
that lean is fall. I've never seen an Asian crackhead, and I've never seen them fall.
I never seen that Asian crackhead.
So
Hey, they do drugs too, bro. Like Asians, because the way they kind of operate, it's hard to get in and fuck
Don't
with them.
let
But
Jay walk away from that juice. He said, I never
Yo.
seen Asian cracking. Bro, we about to get us canceled. We ain't got
Bro,
that.
yeah.
Yo, listen. I gotta shout Juice out. Like I was so proud to watch Juice cook with no just pour shit and just salt. Cause like yo, like a lot of times I make shit. My wife would be like, "Oh well, babe, how much of this do you put?" I just do it to his right. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like you cook just right. I don't measure nothing.
Why
Right?
like, yo, did you measure this? Did you measure that?
well, remember,
Bruh.
you can always add, but you can't
Never
take
take
away.
away.
Take away.
Hey,
Take away.
Guess who taught me that? Shout out to JC Counts. Counts told me that. You
Counts.
always add to, you can never take away.
Yeah.
He told me that. He told me that long time ago.
Counts taught me a lot, man. Him and Counts, and I learned a little bit from Crowder too. But
Now I'm gonna tell you.
Counts was
Shout
the
out
man.
to my man Crowder. God damn,
Crowder
he said the
taught me a
name I
lot.
ain't heard. What was
Yeah.
Crowder's nickname? I can't think of that shit right. The big cheese. I want to
Cheese.
say. Oh,
Cheese.
yo, shout out. Oh,
He's
I
called
was
Cheese.
we like a day apart. I think our birthdays might be the same day or a day apart. But yeah, man. And Counts did teach me how to like, yo, I remember when I first joined the Navy, real quick. My first watch captain, well, my second watch captain when I was on days, used to always like everything we made had to go to his taste. You know what I'm saying? Like before shit went out on the line, he had to taste it. And then my next watch captain was Counts, and Counts was like, I'm like, Counts, yo, you want to taste it? He'd be like, you taste it. Do it taste good? All right, then put it out. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to JC, man. That's my guy, man. Damn, where do I want to go? Oh, Cam and the youth. We want to talk about Cam and the youth. JB, where you at? JB, you there?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
ready. I'm good.
Okay, so it was a video that went viral last couple days. Cam Newton, I guess, was at go ahead, JB. What was it?
It was a 7-on-7 camp. Cam has his own all-star. I don't say all-star team, but he has his own team. And when I used to coach, we competed in like the 7-on-7 joints, like during, it's not off season, but like in between season to keep the kids in shape. Not at like high school level kids, what these kids look like. And there was one of the kids who was on another team, the opposing team that Cam had, and was heckling him, which I didn't have a problem with the heckling. I was telling people earlier today, it was like the language that he was using towards an adult. I'm like, you can't, they're not peers. You know what I'm saying? Like he was calling Cam.
Come on back, JB. He was calling Cam what?
What do you call him? Soft and broke.
Ass. Yeah, and I was just like,
no. Say again. What he
he
called him?
A free agent. He's going to be a free agent. He's going to call. He said he was going to be poor. All this crazy stuff, and I'm like, first of all, and people, and there was other people on Twitter today who was defending him, like, yo, we can't trash talk at games. I'm like, that's not trash talk. They're not peers. Like, that's a grown man, for one. And that is, not only is he a grown man, he is, everything that Shorty was saying was just crazy, because it's like, first of all, he was the number 1 overall pick in football. He was a national champion, Division I football player, 5-star recruit, MVP of the NFL, made it to a Super Bowl, played in the season where they went 15-1. So it's like, you calling somebody ass when you might never even see another NFL player in your life again.
Let me ask you this, JB. Are you bothered by the fact that he came at a grown man neck, or the fact of Cam accomplishments and he shouldn't have came at it because of what he's accomplished?
He don't know no better.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking JB though, because JB saying he's done all these. Hold on, JB. Listen, because you're saying that Cam's accomplished all these things, so you don't feel like you should be talking to him like that because of that, or the fact that he's a grown man and you're a teenager, you shouldn't be talking to a grown
man first.
Okay, but I'm just saying, but what like, this is what I'm saying, right? But you're going into the accomplishments.
I'll beat your ass.
You going to your accomplishments? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Was it the accomplishments? Okay.
Both for me, yo. Like seriously, both.
Grown man first.
Right. Definitely grown man first. And
this was a kid.
Yeah.
It's a teenager.
Kid talking shit.
Yeah,
it's a teenager.
Like how Cam
how
addressed it.
17.
17.
All right, so okay, I felt like that too. I felt like Cam should have ignored it or kept it moving, like kind of like been a bigger. You are an adult.
Yeah, you are an adult, right? But this is the thing: if you gonna talk it, right? Like, you gotta realize like who you talking to. So like these people come at these players, right? And they're human, right? So they're not gonna sit back and just keep taking it. You know, some things you can say can be very disrespectful to some of these players, right? So if you're gonna do that and they're gonna come and talk to you or get in your face about it or whatever. No, I'm not saying Cam and this. I'm saying other players have done this previous. So, you know, they get it, you know, they get in your face or they may say something back to you. And now you want to hit them with, oh, he threatened my life. I want to do a lawsuit. Wow. Well, you initiated. That's my thing with these.
All right, but this is the twist. Hold on real quick. Let me ask you, because if Cam has been in the league for at least 10 years. I'm pretty sure going through that tunnel at the end of them games, getting on them buses at the end of the games, he's heard way worse things than that young man said to him. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, but peep.
Yes.
Yeah, but peep it. That's at work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He giving his time to the kids. Like he did. You know what I'm saying? He doing something for kids. Like that's it. Keep in mind.
For the dude that's there.
Right, for the dude that's there. So
let's be clear. I'm not saying that the young boys was right. I just felt like
he didn't say that. No,
shouldn't have went back and forth with him. That's how I felt like. I felt like he shouldn't have went back and forth with him.
But initially Cam did go back and forth. But I think he checked himself and was like, you know what? Where
your father at? Yeah, that's it.
Like you know what? Which can happen to any of us in a moment. Because you gotta think he's a competitive athlete. He's been competing his whole life. So somebody calling you trash. In your realm where you know you're not trash, or I'm matter of fact, I'm cookie cutting because he called him ass. If somebody calling you ass in your platform, that's like somebody screaming at Cool from the side saying, you ass, you ain't doing it right. Screaming. Why he doing this thing? Why he in the middle of an examination? No, he got every right to turn around like, hold up, what?
But this is my twist too. Where was this young man's coach at or whatever?
It was maybe he don't have a fucking father. Like
no, I'm not talking about the father. I'm talking about
no. I'm just saying. The
if it's a player,
did you see the second video?
No, I didn't see the second video.
That's my point.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the second video.
Okay, I didn't see the second video. Okay.
The coach jumps in as Cam is trying to have a conversation with him. Like, what are you going to do? Like, talk about what's happening on the field. Like, and everybody, somebody tell me about this kid. What's going on with him?
And nobody had nothing to say.
Nobody had nothing to say. Dude, like, he fast. He fast. He like, what are you trying to say? And then the coach got in and started trying to cut Cam off. And then Cam was like, this ain't going nowhere, basically. And walked away with his team, right? Like, that was the second video. But, like, dude was still trying to pop fly. He was like, I'm just trying to have a moment with you. Like I'm
still
trying to say
the
embarrassment.
Who, Cam is? Cam said that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cam said it.
Cam said that.
Cam
too.
kept
I'm
it.
trying to have a
Cam
moment
kept it
with you.
within football. Yeah, Cam kept it about football. Cam said, so what did, because he was, I guess, whatever happened with the game. So Cam must have knew he ain't even, I don't know if he even played or he ain't get in the game. He said, so what
He
did
asked
you
him what
do?
his record. Yeah, asked him what his record.
Yeah, and then he was like, what did you do? Then his homeboy was like, oh, he fast. He was like, no. Tell me what you did in the game. And Shorty said, I ain't do this. He basically, he ain't say nothing. Because my thing is, if you was out there balling,
You shut the
you
fuck
would have
up.
yeah, you would have been like, oh, like, I mean, if they got to that point, if
ran
Shorty
it
actually
down.
was balling, yeah, he'd be like,
Right.
oh, you saw me get a pick, you saw me get a touchdown, I stiff arm such and such, all that. My thing is when he brought it to football and he ain't had nothing to say, I'm like, Shorty ain't even like that. Like you was doing that for the camera. You was doing that for TikTok.
He wouldn't have had to tell Cam because Cam would have known who was getting off on his squad playing against
That's
him.
what I'm saying.
It wouldn't even have been that conversation. But it seems to me he's somebody he feeding for attention. The young
somebody getting off wouldn't call Cam ass.
It's girl. It's broadish. It's broadish.
Check out last podcast, yo. Anything for clout, like
what kind of attention are you getting to what end?
Some people don't care. Some people don't care. Right, right.
Cool. Once they go viral.
So,
cool.
But I know.
What do that do? Is that a check?
No, but that's what I'm saying. But look,
that's a way to get a check.
My point is, like, I know that's kind of what they do, but like, you're at a camp with an MVP. You damn near close to 4 or 5 years away to that reality. If you do it right, you think a D1 going to sign this dude? And he shows out, he's the viral, he turned his comments off on Instagram, and he old enough. That's not pretend like the youngsters, like, oh, he's a teenager. The fuck that mean? Right. You know this music out here. The fuck that mean? You understand what I'm saying? And so we can't act like you got a big enough teenage dick to be like, you ass and you this. You can't even afford your own fucking drawers on a regular basis. Right. I bet that. He puffed up at a grown man. Like, that's just like, who's to say older?
Can I throw something out there real quick, bro? We've all smelled our nuts. It's always a kid, we've grown up with them. Even with my dad in the house, it was a point where I challenged my dad. So this is something that young men will do. The real truth is he need an OG because he thinking like them young niggas. Oh, if I do something and go viral, if I look like I'm on, then I can be on. Like, nah, dog, that ain't how the shit works. So really, whatever Cam did to him, but besides slap the shit out of him, he deserved it because he got to understand. You want to be a man, you 17, 18, it's a lot of shit come with that man shit. By the way, you talking to this is with like a nigga like that on a young kid. Yo, that is high school, it's college, and then it's the pro. Like, it's different, bro. It's different. Like, he just don't know no better because it's niggas in college that didn't even make it to the league because the difference of just the physicality of the shit. He don't understand how good Cam Newton is because he just talking shit. He young. He don't really understand that physical difference. He's just a young nigga, bro. So they're gonna do that. He should know better, but it's like Jay Prince say, it's the IG over the OG. Period, bro. They don't know.
Know what it be? When I was a young buck, and I don't know if this happened no more. It's one of two ways. When you smelling your nuts, you get checked. Either somebody's going to physically check you, or somebody's going to grind you up to the point you feel this small. So I don't know if that's not going on anymore. But I remember being young, and you talking too much, and you got a lot to say. Either somebody gonna punch you in your mouth, or they gonna grind you up with jokes and just joke on you so bad that you're gonna feel this small. You gonna have to check that shit. That's how I was.
When Cam asked him what he did in that game, and he had nothing to say, you could see all the gas in his chest just coming up out of him. You know what I'm saying? Because if we there for football and you ain't got nothing to talk about on football, you talking to somebody who is a king of football, and at one point, you know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, like, bro, Deion Sanders came to my school to recruit a guy that ended up playing at Florida State, playing in the NFL. Bro, when they say he was down in the gym, everybody ran down that joint. Deion is my hero in football, dog. And I would never. First of all, he was a grown man. I would never even talk to a grown man like that, let alone somebody who. Right. And I know Shorty idolized Cam because he wouldn't have been there. You know what I'm saying?
Corey Holcomb
Like,
used to
that
say
was it.
something,
That
man.
was
You know
what you
been-
said, Neef. What you said, Neef, was, you know, grinding him up or whatever, right? But they call that hazing. These kids aren't made tough like we were, you know what I'm saying? Or like I was. You can't do that shit to these young kids because he's making fun of me, and then they want to
fuck that.
Then they want pity,
Fuck
and then
that.
they want
Fuck that.
then they
Fuck
want the
that,
self,
and they fuck
you know,
they pity.
self pity.
Fuck that
I
and
agree.
fuck they pity.
I agree.
Fuck
I agree.
that and fuck they pity. The old president said, "Grab him by the pussy." Fuck that, and people doing dope in Columbus. Fuck that. fuck that. This shit is annoying, yo. This dude is out of. He should have fucking been home. Listen. I was a nerd. I'm the coolest nerd you know. I was a nerd, but goddamn it, I do not understand gangbangers that go to school. Go to fuck gangbang some goddamn where. If you ain't want to be there and benefit from the camp, shut the fuck up and go home and do whatever the fuck you was going to do.
Right.
And you don't get no fucking sympathy at 17. 17?
Yeah.
You got to
be you puffing up like that.
Y'all, you know what the world look at black boys like at 12 years old, let alone some fucking 17. I was at Howard's campus at 17 years old. Get the fuck out of here. Grow up and you fucked up that early money. You
know what else?
Out of here.
Know what else? Can't think about. You never know. Maybe not even Cam. You don't know where Cam gonna be in a couple years. You coming up through the ranks, you might need Cam one day. Somebody that's on his staff, on one of his coaches, might be a coach somewhere and remember this incident. So end of the day, you might be burning a bridge, running your mouth, trying to get off that later on you might need.
Listen, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult for him to be anything other than the nigga that went viral with Cam Newton 10 years.
Right, exactly. And
that's sad. If you thinking like that at 17, that's sad.
All he had to do was ask to get his cleat signed like he really wanted to. And then the problem would have been solved. But you want to see,
you could have sold him.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, where did you even get I can't even understand the concept that was running through his brain to be like, yo, that's Cam Newton. He trash.
If he got any real homies around him, anybody really around him, they gonna grind him up for his actions.
He was the only one saying it, and that's the.
I'm just saying,
like,
if he got real homies, go ahead, cuz.
Man, I just ain't get it. I'm like, they wasn't even gassing you up. They was your homeboys left you out to dry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because it was stupid. Get out the car. Get out the car.
In a perfect world, the other part of the video would have been them going to Oklahoma, like Cam did to Josh Norman, and Josh Norman wanted to fight because, like I said, I seen Cam Newton in real life. That's not a little person.
So Corey Holcomb used to always, one thing I always remember. It's been a while. Remember, so I outgrew him a bit, but like with men, he used to say is always. Every interaction can be a low level threat of violence. There's some shit gonna happen. You cut off man, or you disrespect. Yes. You start talking. You know how women start on the internet talking to men. They said the reason we could do that is because the world is civilized enough where somebody won't smack the shit out you. If Cam Newton lost it for like 10 seconds and his 6'5", whatever the fuck he is, smack the shit out the 17-year-old, then it'd be like a whole. But guess what? You could be 17 and go to the military. So fuck that.
You can be 17. You can be 17 and go to jail for murder.
Fuck that.
Bruh.
You could be younger than that and go. And you could be 12 and play with a toy gun and get shot by the police. Fuck all of that.
Speaking of shot by the police, incident that happened September 23rd, that the family suing the city in California. I just sent y'all the drink. The California man killed by deputy was stopped for jaywalking and got shot twice. This happened September 23rd. I ain't gonna hold you, and I jaywalk all the time. Like, this shit really just.
I don't even know what jaywalking is.
When you don't cross at the light, I think.
At the crosswalk.
Or the stop
when
sign.
I don't cross at the light, I think. So you don't know what jaywalking is either.
I'm pretty.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
First of all, the only place
I read about that
those
story.
dotted lines, like the
white
lines in the street.
They not dotted though, Jay. Why you laughing? Go ahead.
Let me tell you something I read about that story. They was arguing on the same dash cam, the police, about whether he actually jaywalked or not.
Yep. He said it's nothing. His partner was like, yo, it's like basically let's leave it alone.
I've only been to two places where literally the jaywalking laws are clear. And that is Las Vegas in New York City. Other than that, it is arbitrary. Everywhere else I've ever been in my entire life to where and how you cross the street. Because those two places apparently take jaywalking very seriously because you will get ran over and people will hit you. And if Baltimore City is the jaywalking capital of the world, if they decided that they wanted to crack down on jaywalker, I promise you that a lot of these fools, including myself, and maybe even some children, will probably be getting shot because nobody knows how to cross the street in Baltimore City.
Who's walking all the way up to the? You walking all the way up to the corner, cross, and come back like that's how you cross the street. Like you got that shit is crazy.
I'm still waiting on somebody to tell me what the fuck jaywalking is. I've been on this earth for 40 years. I don't know what the fuck it is.
So look, jaywalking is not crossing. Jaywalking is not crossing at the crosswalk.
Okay.
So if you cross in the middle of the street, that's jaywalking.
What if I cross the crosswalk diagonal because I don't want to do a 90-degree angle?
Jaywalking.
All right.
And that's still jaywalking. And you got to cross the crosswalk as well as when you see the sign where the little, the joint blinking and the joint walking. Like the little
if it's
man
blinking,
walking.
it's jaywalking.
Yeah, the man walking.
Cross or walking the street.
Yeah.
Or road.
But the pedestrian had a right of way
for approaching traffic. That is the definition of jaywalking.
Yeah.
The origin J means silly person, and English is walk.
That shit like vagrancy laws when they was arresting black people before the police for fucking loitering. It'd be 2 people. You know what I'm saying? It's just some other bullshit, man. Some bullshit.
But y'all don't like the more recent story, but he didn't end up getting shot. The kid down in Plano, in the Dallas Fort Worth area.
What happened with that?
He got arrested when he was walking home in the snow, and the cops was like, "Stop! He like, for what? What did I do? And I'm trying to go
on. Man.
Yeah, they're like, "You're not cold. What's your name? Talk to us." You're being investigated. They arrested him for.
I saw. I ain't
walking in the street.
Walking in the street with
it was fucking snowing.
Snow everywhere.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
stuff like that keeps me up at night because it's like, what do you tell your son? Hey, listen to what they tell you, or also run. Like I don't know which do you tell? I want to tell my son to listen to what they say, but if they on some bull crap like that, you never know what type time.
You gotta set your life up to cross less streets. That's the fucking lesson.
Yeah.
That's like I said. The more
drive him everywhere.
Across the street.
Drive him everywhere.
Yeah.
Trayvon wasn't crossing. Wasn't crossing.
Get your ass up. I know you don't feel like taking him. Go ahead, take him, because.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Set him up an Uber account.
That too. That part.
All right, y'all want to talk about Biden rejecting the $50,000 student loans forgiveness plan?
No, we knew this. We knew he was going to go get back to the.
Y'all, that's like you said. You want to talk politicians? Back
to the regular schedule program.
They talk politics. Politicians.
Wait
a minute. The House and the Senate is stopping him. Oh, never mind.
It's like the other joint when they was like, the federal stimulus. They was like, so what's going on with the $1,400 checks? Biden like, what check? What you talking about?
Checks.
Biden, like, I can't do 50. I might do 10. Biden, if you don't get your ass.
At least I'd rather put the money in early education.
Biden, ain't nobody ask you that shit. The early education parents need their fucking money, Biden. Right. They the ones got student loan debt.
I could do more for my kids if I had these student loans to pay.
Ask us what you should do with the $50,000, Biden. We told you already.
What the fuck is wrong with him? Like
fucking see? Put on their necks.
You know what I'm saying? But that's your man's high neef.
Yo hit niggas.
So fucking petty.
Hey, yo.
He called independent.
No, hold on. When I say that,
I wasn't even supposed to do that. My bad. All right.
Niggas asked Uncle Joe where the 1,400 at. Yo, he literally was like, "What you talking about?"
What you talking about, Willis?
1,400.
Vote for me. I get the 1,400 next week.
It's
45 days.
Joe looked back at Kamala. Was like, I said that.
Who said that? Motherfucker.
You're not vote for me. You're not black.
Yeah, I could do 10. Fuck out.
Meanwhile, your man Hogan cut the checks last week. Hey man, The Republicans, one thing about the Republicans, they know the money has to flow. They know you cut that motherfucking water off, dog. Everybody gonna start feeling it. The money gotta flow. They ain't cut the money off of nobody. That's for damn sure.
So what are we doing? I mean, we just play along. That's what I do. Just play along.
Yeah, that's all I do. I just, my checks.
Crazy.
Black people for independent. Black people should be independents. We should collectively go join, become the independent party. Become an independent party. Not no third party with a name. Straight independent.
Straight independent.
Yeah.
Speaking
like the fucking what's my people up in Pennsylvania? The Amish. We need to be off the grid like them. I mean, I want electricity. I want electricity and running water too.
Dude, niggas want to be in the club during COVID. Off the grid, off the schmid. That's not it.
They're trying to write.
Niggas want to be on the grid like this. Grid me with the phones in their hand. Grid me with my gun and my 30 clip. Grid me. I'm all over the place tonight, y'all.
Oh, so look,
burns me up.
Hey, grinding right now.
I got one. So look, that's what I told my wife the other day. I don't know if everybody been getting those calls about the home warranty. I mean, your car warranty shit.
Extended warranty, yeah.
Yeah. So this is my belief. I think the federal government sold out information to China or Asia to fund the stimulus check.
That's a hot take of a hot take.
Cause they didn't have the money.
They can make money, bro.
They can
make money. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's not a fucking coincidence that now everybody getting these fucking phone calls. They sold our money to somebody overseas. I mean, sold our information to somebody overseas, and now we gonna get these phone calls for the next 10 months.
You can call me all you want to call me.
That's funny. Old Pi just hit me up talking about, hey, Rel, did y'all watch the Tekashi documentary?
What is it on again?
It's on Showtime.
I'm going to check it out.
Shout out to Pi. I love it.
This is crazy though, because we were just talking about how main man got shot for jaywalking, but coming to find out, the nuclear football was at risk during the Capitol Hill riot, and nobody got shot.
What do you mean it's at risk?
It was in the building.
So
I mean, because think about it, like when they if you, let's say you do something like with everything we do, if there's more hold on, I want to say
you're sensationalizing the wrong thing. I could take the nuclear football and put it in your fucking living room right now, and you can open it up.
The code was there. No, the code was there too. What's the name of the code?
No, it wasn't.
There's no one code.
I promise you.
I
promise you it wasn't.
3 people have the code.
It's
so you need all 3 of them.
It's not on the back like a sticker, bro.
No. I'm not saying no. Biden, no, listen.
It's not Face ID. It's not Face ID, Flush.
Biden was listen. Biden was in there too. They said Biden had the codes.
Biden can't remember.
Biden has.
My bad. Not Biden. What's the vice president name? My bad. The vice president before. Pence had the codes.
He has a code.
And he has a code.
Right.
All right. So, because you know how, if you do something and it's more things that's there, like with the bomb being there, should be more trouble that you would get into because it was in the same building or in the same vicinity as everything that went down. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. First of all, that shit come from Colorado. Second of all, it has to be authenticated 3-4 times, right? Much to do about nothing, honestly. So,
all right.
Yeah.
That stuck out to me. All right. We had this discussion, right, about just having real friends and real friends, going to tell you and check you on some shit, right? And it's been quite obvious with this young man that he doesn't have any real friends because he wouldn't do half the things he does. But we all seen the picture at the top of Tory Lane's head, right?
That shit look like a lawnmower.
Yo, that shit was crazy.
I don't know what the fuck going on with him.
No, the perfect thing was the Reese cup with a little bit of Reese he stuck on the
Hey, yo, was that real? Was that really?
Yeah, that's real.
That's his setup.
Yeah, so y'all know he had surgery, right?
He paid $30K for the
for the hairline surgery, right? But your shit still can go missing right here.
He got some hair that he was in a pool with a wave cap on.
Oh, he got the Texas Stadium shit. Oh, damn.
You seen that shit?
Damn.
That shit make Bron shit look gorgeous.
No, Bron shit looks the same. Exactly the same.
No, because he got more.
Yeah,
He got more hair on the
yeah.
top. That shit. No, you seen the picture?
I
That
did
shit-
see the picture.
Ron playing reindeer games. at this
LeBron
point,
shit
too.
is lower than Tory's. That's the difference.
True. And Brian 6'9".
Yeah.
When
Yo,
you
LeBron,
when you 5'4",
LeBron
everybody
shit damn near
sees
to
that
the
shit.
bone.
Yeah,
When
Yo,
you
Bron's
five
LeBron
low.
four,
shit damn near
everybody
to the
sees
bone.
that.
Like he get a haircut. That shit gonna be like Mike Wilbon, nigga.
He need
But
to
it's
just get the
crazy.
cut
Like
close.
LeBron went bald before, and it didn't look crazy.
Dog, Tory Lanez when he first came out had a
Was
short,
bald.
right.
That was,
Like,
he had the real low fade.
why do bald niggas go get their hair done?
Because
Deion
it's
Sanders.
a point of pride, yo.
Yeah, yo, chill, yo.
It's tough.
This ball niggas on the podcast, yo. You gotta be sensitive.
Right,
yo.
yeah.
Yo,
No,
so
I'm not.
would you rather your
Nigga,
hair
I don't
look
give
like
a fuck about that shit. Hey, you bald headed, you bald headed. I
Right.
don't care about that
So
shit.
what you saying, Jay?
I cut my hair
I
because
just say,
my
like,
brother
hey,
told
Juice,
me cut it
I
off.
just
I'm
say,
the
like,
one told. I'm the one told Rel.
He the one who told me, and I got a baldy that next Saturday. I wish he would have told me years prior to. I feel like he
I
don't
was
love me enough.
No, I said, yo, bro, listen. It's time. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and get the ball.
Hey, nigga, I was 20.
would you
somebody
rather-
was
out?
20, 25. Somebody was like, your shit getting thin at the top. I was like, oh, I might have like a year left. And I cut that hoe off. So.
would you rather look like LeBron or look like KD hair?
Nigga,
LeBron.
I'm gonna get the baldy. Like I'm gonna get the juice, bro.
I'm gonna take the
Don't-
Michael Jordan route.
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
not walking around like that, bro. Listen, like
Hey, yeah.
I need niggas to check me ASAP.
I honestly don't
Listen,
understand
you-
KD shit. Because his
It's just
shit is
easy.
just simply,
He got a young boy.
it's just a haircut.
No, he don't brush. All you gotta do is brush it.
I do feel like he don't brush it. Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
he
right-
can
like right
he
before
can
the
get it
game, he
lined
don't
up
brush
with
it.
everything.
His beard be everything.
He needs some Murray's wax and a brush.
I think
Hey.
he can get a number one. He can get a number one. He be all right.
That should be looking bad.
He needs some of that Crown Royal or some WD-40 to loosen them the hair
No,
up.
you right though, cool. He needs some of that wave cap shit. That can that never
Something
run
to
out.
lay it down. Yeah, make it hard. Right, never run out. Last decade.
Yeah, that nigga shit be looking all that fucking money. Like you can't wash your face with your beard looking like that. I just
Who
believe
took the picture of Tory Lanez?
Huh?
Somebody who ain't
Somebody
left
in this
yet.
camp. Somebody in this
That's
camp.
crazy. Yeah.
Nigga said it was the shortest drone picture ever because he only 5 feet tall.
Yo, him and Tekashi need to be in one of them celebrity boxing matches. Yo, it's serious. Let them niggas do their thing. They both weirdos.
Bobby Shmurda came home. He was here.
Yo, I meant I was
He
headed
came home
there.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome home, Bobby.
Yeah,
No, it's
that boy about to be home.
No, it's crazy. The and don't get me. I'm not no street guy, dog. Like you know what I mean. I don't listen. I'm cool. I'd rather do things the legal way and get my money and all that. But just the snitch thing is just like it's amazing how much somebody who ratted on somebody to stay out of jail gets more appreciation. It seems like than somebody who would stand up and took time for his man, his friend, his brother. Who took more time? Who does that? There should be a standing ovation for Bobby Shmurda for taking time away from off of his man and doing more time so his man could come home sooner. That's just like it's crazy to me that it feels like it's not the same level of
So
appreciation.
I want to be.
Quavo said he want to go pick him up too.
Too
Yeah,
late.
I seen that.
I want
Can't
to
pick
be
up a
clear.
motherfucker that's already home. He got out today.
Yeah.
He's home. Quavo
Right.
thought he was getting out tomorrow. Bobby is home. He left jail today.
I want to be clear about one thing though, and this is going like I'm glad that he is no longer in prison. However, one of the reasons that he's in prison is somebody died, another brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he was directly involved, but if you listen to the Hot Nigga song, he talks about his homeboy catching a body, and that body was a real body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy the brother home so he can get back to his shit.
But
You know what I'm
murder's
saying?
still
But
murder.
I ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like some of that stuff we be having.
It's a long list. It's a long line though, bro.
It is.
It's a
It
long
absolutely
line
is.
before you get to Bobby Shmurda. I ain't even excusing it. Not even to cut you off.
No,
but, like,
right.
yeah, no,
I think
I'm not
I think
excusing
I
any of
think I think Future's melodies are more detrimental collectively than even
Oh
Bobby
no, I'm
Shmurda.
not saying. I'm not saying.
Serving his time for the thing. Like, see, so like even not excuse him, but like white people got paid. Let me give you, I'm cooking tonight. White people got paid for Bobby Shmurda going to jail.
Mhm.
He served his time for
Absolutely.
whatever he did. That's what happens when we get in the street shit.
Yeah.
Kind of the end. Then we want to rehabilitate. So we with it, and so nobody's celebrating. I'm not celebrating the criminality behind it, right?
Right.
But
right.
you do celebrate. I think Bobby Shmurda, JB, is just him coming home, even for like people that's not into it, is like the antithesis of fucking 6ix9ine and him being celebrated and all that shit. So if
Absolutely.
nothing more, I think it's some way for that. At least for me, and he served whatever time they said he's supposed to serve, because
And
we
came
know
home.
if he had more, he'd be in there serving that shit too.
Oh, they'd have
So
gave me more if they could.
hey,
You know they would've.
hopefully they get right, get out the hip hop police way, keep their nose clean, and change the old money to new money that's legal, the way they thought they're supposed to. That's what I'm celebrating.
True.
No, I'm.
All right.
Shit, I look at that nigga like 6 times a day. Just you know what I mean? Because I'm like, but I just wanted to like provide some context, or nuance rather,
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
because
right.
I
Though.
think sometimes we might get lost in that. You know what I mean? Like, because I look at it like this: if it was somebody that we knew who was caught up in that shit and was the person who's no longer here, niggas wouldn't be like, oh,
would have felt different.
such and such
Right.
home. You know what I'm saying? Is that like I listened to I listened to it was called Louder Than a Riot, and they had the brother, his mother was on, not Bobby mother, but the kid who got killed. When he was like, I think, what did he say? Rasha, somebody, the fuck, Shotty caught a body, some shit like that. One of the niggas, whoever he said caught a body, really killed the nigga, allegedly rather. And his mother was on there. She was like, but she my son in there. You know what I'm saying? He's like, my son dead. You feel me?
Right.
And she was like, it's a hook. It's a part of the song where everybody get hyped. But he's like, when they saying such and like when he say he catch a body, that's my baby. You know what I mean?
All right. So, it's different.
I was just saying
but
that
your
from
baby was in the
that
street.
perspective.
Hold up, time out.
Right. That's all I'm
Your
saying.
baby.
That's all I'm saying.
So
right.
let me go ahead and cancel that. So sorry,
Right.
Jay. You make
Fuck
great
outta
points.
here.
Your baby was in the fucking streets and took
Right.
whatever the street came with the. See, this is what we gotta start
Right.
understanding, bro.
But
I'm
I
not
don't know
praising.
how familiar y'all are with the story, and I'm not. What I'm not doing.
Okay.
Is I'm not questioning. I'm not making any assumptions of any of this. I'm just providing context. So and this is third party. So from the understanding of her mother, her son, and the police as well, that he was not involved in any gang activity. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was around motherfuckers who were involved in that activity.
Bro, you don't talk about nobody getting caught from some by instant bystander. That's not how that. But okay, we can drop that shit.
Say, bro. Now let me throw this out there and we'll move on because I want to say this I want to get my piece off about Bobby. There was a kid here in Houston, same thing, bro. He was going to a school that wasn't, it wasn't known to have any real gang activity, but he was from a neighborhood where that happened. He hung around those people. They caught that nigga up at school one day and shot him. And his parents had no clue about what he was really doing until they went into the cell phone later. It's a lot of haze with that. But I think what we're talking about with Bobby versus Tekashi is this. Here's a nigga that understood what it was, and he went and took what came with that. We ain't even talking about his redemption yet. That's being a man, regardless to how he did it and our feelings on things we need to handle. And
hell yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Like Tekashi isn't even a part of the culture for real. Like he's just a nigga who's here.
Yeah, I don't even talk about that.
A kid got killed. But with Tekashi, a lot of niggas went down. Like that was the whole plan, was like to get a whole bunch of niggas, and he was telling his ass off being somebody he not. So like with Bobby,
ordering hits.
And ordering hits. Like this man was a part of some shit. We don't really know to what extent. He ain't going there and start singing and shit and crying and like he talked that shit on wax and he dealt with that shit the way he did. And let's see how he go from there. That's solid.
Even Kodak Black said they were beating him up and doing stuff. You ain't heard shit from Bobby in 6 years. If you did the crime, dude, sit your ass down. That's what we say, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't hear nothing. And see that, and a lot of times that's telling of an OG too. Cause it's a lot of niggas when they go to prison, that's really solid. They don't be having all them fucking, oh, I ain't ate and and I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just saying like it's levels to that shit, bro. So again, that's another point. That nigga went in, you ain't really hear much about it. Now he coming home. So like, man, be on some man shit. If you out there doing man shit in the street, look, bro. And it's not just niggas doing it. The whole Kennedys made their whole career off bootlegging. We know that doing gangster shit. Gangster shit gonna always be in the mix.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know how to handle it as men. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't want to see niggas dying, but I don't want to see niggas telling either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real quick, yo, Snowfall back on Wednesday. Y'all ready?
Am I ready?
Yeah, they come with 2 episodes too.
This nigga said, am I ready?
Yeah, are you ready, nigga?
Yeah. Nigga, I've been waiting.
What is wrong
for that shit. I've been waiting for that shit since Mel shot that nigga, dog.
Fourth quarter, JB. Let's go. All right, a couple quick joints.
Shout out to Flush for the Oreos hat too. You know the vibes.
You know I'm a Baltimore nigga. You know I'm a Baltimore
nigga.
nigga. Get my chicken box with the wedges, nigga. You know
I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my favorite baseball jerseys. And
come on, Juice. Tell the truth. Tell
I ain't
the
gonna lie
truth and shame the devil, Juice.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Fourth quarter, JB. Hey,
we need some more. We need some more Orioles fans. Juice, lead them cheating ass.
Hey, Baltimore's called the Charm City. I'm the Charm God. I'm just saying.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there.
Let's not brush over this.
Hey, Juice, the next time you come here, hey, one of my favorite things, I go to about at least 5 to 10 games a year if I can, bro. I love my fucking baseball team, bro. And baseball is probably it's the best spectator sport to go to and watch a game with your family. Now you go to football games with your fellas.
That's fact.
Are you talking about with the kids and all that? Okay, all right.
Yeah, you take the kids and all that. Baseball perfect because it's downtime. You know what I'm saying? You
ain't gonna be on their phones after the
yeah,
first.
Yeah.
Nigga, this 2021, nigga.
Nigga, I took Jordan to Ravens. I had fucking. That's when I was plugged in. Nigga, I had club seats, AT&T club seats, like executive club seats up there with the big dogs at the Ravens joint. And I took my daughter, nigga. I was ready to throw her ass off the goddamn thing, boy. She crying. You know what I'm saying? You can't enjoy that shit.
Yo, why at 10 o'clock do he turn the fuck up?
Turn up.
Yo, can I get listen, JB? Can I get a couple more? Can I get a couple more?
Hey, cut that part out. I wasn't gonna throw my daughter.
He said, cut that part out.
Yo, silly shit. Yo. Real quick. Damn. Should Dame have been a starter in the All-Star game?
No.
You don't think so?
It was because it was between him and Steph, right?
Or Luka.
He should have been starting over Luka. Luka been trash this year.
Luka said he should have started over him.
Yeah. I thought it was between him and Steph.
It's a fan vote. Who gives a flying fuck?
Well, it's half fan and half media.
And
part of the starting lineup. I'm just saying. All right.
My thing with Dame is Dame think it's this valiant thing to like lose. Like
JB do not know what a quick joint is. Like
like he killed me with that.
JB. No, just answer the question. JB, goddamn. It's 10. Okay, we try. It's quick. Couple words.
All right. Let me just say much. I just want to say this about.
Go ahead, bro.
I don't like when he. First of all, I don't because I know I'm a Warriors fan, so I'm gonna make it quick. I don't like when he be hating on Steph because that's some sucker shit, and then Steph put 60 on him. But I also don't like that he feels like it's this badge of honor to lose. He'd be like, "Oh, I only going to a super team, nigga." Who the fuck wants to see you play in Portland? Like, we want to see you play with LA. We want to see you play with LeBron or KD or some shit like that. Nobody, I don't understand that shit. He do it every year, and he be like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying in Portland, do this shit right. Ain't no fucking do it right, nigga. Nobody, like Terrell said, who the fuck wants to watch that shit?
Nobody. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I actually might hate Dame Lillard. I don't even know.
Shit. Could LeBron have been an NFL player?
No.
Yes. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do
No.
you see how big he is?
He's
Yeah.
6'8", 245. He's bigger than Gronkowski.
Nigga, all he gotta do is
Oh.
just
Them hits,
catch
though.
and drop.
Yeah, that's what I'm
What
saying.
about
Them hits,
Them hits
though.
don't what? Them hits don't what? He bigger
Y'all
than
know LeBron
Gronkowski.
played football,
No,
right?
no,
Yeah, he did.
Gronkowski
That's
what I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying. Yeah, high
70.
school. High school.
He had to stop playing and
He
commit to
also
basketball.
played
Hell yeah.
basketball in high school.
No.
Like,
Yeah, true.
No. You see how
Allen Iverson was a mean football player too, but I digress.
a really good one.
Oh, real good. Yep. That's
Really
Like
right.
a state, didn't they win state? They won state,
Yeah,
bro.
like a
Allen
quarterback,
Iverson?
right?
He was getting.
Yeah,
They was
he was a
throwing him.
quarterback.
They was
No.
throwing him some
Big
scholarships.
Allen Iverson
Football.
probably was the best football player in the state of Virginia, like 10 years after he graduated.
No facts. No, this is a reality. Like,
Yeah.
bro, no,
Like
no real shit.
You ask Percy Harvin, like all them VA niggas, Bob Beach niggas. You ask Percy Harvin, Aaron Brooks,
He said Vibe Beach
Fucking-
niggas.
for real.
Ronald Curry. Ronald Curry was
Ronald
nice.
Curry, yeah. You
Ronald
ask
Curry
all
was
of them.
nice.
You ask all of them, and they'll say Bubba Chuck, best football player I ever seen.
Yeah, I've heard such things. Y'all want? We ain't even talk about the couple, the slushy thing in the movies. Want to say that for next week?
No, just like it's
Nah, what's
crazy.
that?
Huh?
Like,
What's-
no, because I
what's
won't
that?
care next week.
Yeah, what
All right,
happened?
well,
with
go
the
ahead,
slushy?
bro.
Why did you say slushy? What the fuck is wrong with you? What are you drinking?
Yeah, what's the slushy? What's that?
Oh shit, my bad. I read it wrong.
Shush.
Shushes. My bad. I read it wrong. I'm like, yeah, the couple
Hey,
throws.
I tried to let. I tried
said
to let
throws.
I tried to let it pass too, though. I ain't
Jay,
know-
and you should, Jay, because you be fucking up talking about this
I'm
dots.
confused
This
as to what
dots
you
when you
even
cross the
talking
street
about.
at.
All
My
right,
bad.
so this what happened, man. Lady turned around, shushed a couple in the movie theater, and they shot her. Lesson learned: don't fucking shush nobody in the fucking movie theater because they might shoot you. Like, if you don't want to get shot, you should probably fucking leave.
Hey, this is where Cool says,
Ain't no fucking
Where's
metal
your-
detectors
where's
in
your
the movie
husband?
theater, dummies.
where Cool. This way Cool would say, "Where's your husband?" Because he should be telling you to shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Shut the
You
fuck up.
See, like, he
Season.
got shot.
Shut the fuck up.
He ain't get shot too.
I be
Oh, no,
holding my
this is-
shut the fuck ups like they Uno cards. I be like, fuck.
Like it's a draw for.
Yeah. Here she goes. When I see,
It
like
might,
when I
it
see
might
her,
save your life.
yeah. When I see her peppering up, I be like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
And then I throw that
Yeah.
motherfucker out. Shut the fuck up. Then she,
Yeah.
cause we at the point now where she be like, damn, babe, shut the fuck up.
That's
Yes.
that's a good. She'll keep a husband if she can listen to you
Yeah,
like
This
that.
in front
nigga
of-
is so silly. He said he keep his shuts the fuck up like Uno draw for.
I be
Because you
having
don't mean it like fuck. Like
Yeah,
you don't
no,
mean
Right.
it
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
It's
You,
like,
and you can't use them all the
right.
time. You can't use them all the time.
Yeah.
It's gonna end the game. You gotta hold on to them. You be like,
Right. You can't use
you
them
know.
prematurely.
yeah,
You
like
can preemptively strike on this. Like, yo, my shut the fuck up is all right. Let's save our lives. All right, let's go home and be
Right.
safe together. Right? Like,
yeah.
Right.
I just want to get home safe. Everybody I care
Yeah.
about is, hey,
Right.
yo, text me when y'all get home. Text me after we do family shit. Hit me when you get to where you.
Right.
I want everybody to be safe, including the people in my fucking domicile. So shut the fuck up, so we can
Right.
be safe.
We go right.
Yo.
Don't be offended. This is not that. Like, this is not an
Right.
argument.
My shut,
Right.
my shut the fuck up go like this.
Right. However it go.
That's my
If
shut the
she
fuck up.
know, yeah. And it's so real, man. That's real, man. That's
Just look at her eyes big as shit. Like what?
learn
the
how to
fuck
read
she
a
would
room.
turn around and shoot somebody in the goddamn movie. Hey, yo, it'll be one of them good.
I ain't
It'll be one.
listen.
Hey, it'll be one of them good shut the fuck ups too, where you be like, shut the fuck up.
Behind you, they'll be like, don't shoot them. He got her.
The shit where your teeth don't move. Like
Yeah. Yo, I would lean over because we in the movies, you gonna be like, shut the fuck up.
that's the shit your mom do. That's the shit your mom do to you in front of company. Nigga, you don't go sit your ass down.
Shut. No.
Make
Shut
me fuck you up.
Yo, remember that Snow argument, man? You remember what he told her right before he took the AR to her?
Yeah. You should have shut your fucking mouth.
You should have kept your fucking mouth closed or whatever shut or whatever he said.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
She
this is brothers talking shit, episode 132. Because I said I'm trying to keep us in the serious space. The brothers talking shit, episode 132. We out here, fellas. I love y'all.
Love y'all.
Thank you.
And then the way we
Love
talk,
you too,
nigga,
bro.
well, the shit won't stop.
1 hour
Listen,
You're right.
you still
yo.
recording, nigga. Like, stop
yo.
recording.
All right.
Stop fucking
you record,
recording.
you record now.
Still
You record now.
recording.
Flash, hold
Hey
on.
man,
You
fuck the
still
viewers.
record,
Fuck the
right?
viewers. Like,
Flash,
fuck
hold
these
up.
viewers,
Flash.
nigga.
Yo, y'all,
Before we say anything crazy,
hold up. Do y'all hear how locked in Cool is about
don't
this
say
lady
nothing crazy.
About
getting
who?
herself
Hold
killed?
on,